are back with another episode for you all, Phillie Phanatic Dudes. We are going to be talking about the Super Bowl, and I am back with Jeb to talk about the Super Bowl. So, Jeb, how do you think the Chiefs now stacked up against the Patriots after winning another Super Bowl?
Tom Brady was the GOAT. I mean, 6 championships under Belichick, another with Tampa. But, the thing with Mahomes is, they haven't even played their best. I mean, this was the year that people were supposed to beat them. They had a tough regular season in a lot of ways, and they still won the Super Bowl. 3 rings in 5 years, 4 appearances. I mean, he's right where Brady was during the peak, and he's young, he's ready to go. I mean, their draft class was really good the last couple of years. There's no reason that they should not be contending, and it's unfortunate for the rest of the NFL, because if this is a down year for them, what can next year look like? So definitely should be interesting to see. I think they're shaping up to be extremely dangerous for years to come.
So now, what do you look forward to as Mahomes becomes the next great quarterback? How do you think he will stack up against Tom Brady stats wise at the end of his career?
I mean, it's going to be tough because Brady's won 7, and he's been, I don't even know how many he actually made, but he's one of the best, and Mahomes even said it, he's not even halfway to what Brady accomplished in terms of rings, and he's got plenty of time, but there's no saying what can happen. The NFL's an ever-changing industry, and the Eagles were one of the best in football. So quickly it changed, and everything fell apart, so I think Mahomes is in a good spot, and Andy Reid's a great coach, and I think in general they're a great team, but I think they're in a good position. I think they're able to win. Mahomes is young still, not even 30, and I think if they keep that core together as best they can, keep it under budget, there's no reason they shouldn't be good for a long time. So where do the 49ers go from here? Shanahan, history of blown leads. They blow this one. On paper, they were still a really good team. They should have probably won this game. A lot of missed chances. They fire their defensive coordinator, despite not really him being the problem. So where do they go forward now? Purdy at the helm, Debo. Where do you think they go forward now?
So I think, next year it's just going to be a little harder because the Chiefs still, I feel like they weren't as good as past Super Bowl champions. I think that next year, I think the Eagles should be in that NFC championship spot once again. I think the Cowboys will probably fall out of it, probably in the divisional round. I just don't know. Like next year, I feel like there's going to be a lot of different teams in it. It's going to be hard because I think the Lions, once again, I think they could build back even stronger than last year, and I think the Eagles next year should be the team to beat in the NFC. So I think it's going to be hard, but Brock Purdy, he's a good quarterback, especially for the price that they're paying him right now. So with only paying him that little amount compared to what other quarterbacks get paid, like Mahomes getting paid about $50 million a year, they should have a lot more space and room to maybe get a couple new players. But I think they're still going to be one of the top 4 best teams in the NFL.
All right, so spring training's getting going. Everything's starting to come together. Phillies, everyone's there. But with all the free agents left in the market, the Phillies are kind of in an interesting spot because they don't necessarily have to upgrade. But with Montgomery, Snell, Bellinger, there's still some really key names out there. And they have a strong team on paper. Just as good as last year coming in. So do you think they have any upgrades that they should go out and free agent, or do you think they should be set going into the season?
I think there's a couple areas they need to improve in a little bit. I think their bullpen is a little bit of a struggle, and there's I think they have a 7th and 8th inning kind of guy, but they only have that one true 9th inning guy, and I don't think the Phillies are a team that kind of relies on a closer too often. So I think they need a little bit more help in those high leverage spots. There's not really anyone that you can trust too much. I like Alvarado and Kimbrel a lot, but Kimbrel last year didn't quite pitch as well as the season before. So I think the 2 other pitchers in the bullpen that I didn't talk about yet is Strom and Kirkring. Kirkring last year just got called up from the Phillies, I believe back in July. So in the playoff time, he pitched a little bit, and I believe he struggled against the Diamondbacks in that series, kind of costing them a game. So I think he's pretty talented, I think. But going forward with that more MLB innings, I think he's going to be able to build into that key bullpen piece that can pitch in those high leverage spots. For Strom, I think he's a good pitcher, solid. I think he can pitch in the 7th and 8th, but I just don't know about the 9th with only, his two main pitches are just fastball, slider, which they're pretty good, but his fastball is about 94 with about an 88 slider. And when you're just looking for those two pitches, I think that it gives the batter a pretty big advantage. So I think, once in a while, they're going to take advantage of that and kind of put the ball all over the place. But I think overall, I think he's good.
So, the Phillies now starting this year in a better spot. You got Harper healthy, Turner now settling in. No big acquisitions unless they go out in free agency in the next couple weeks. So everyone's been here. Everyone's used to this environment. They should be fine. But overall, you look at this lineup, there's a lot of swing and miss. There's a lot of up and down inconsistencies at times. It showed its ugly head in the playoffs. So where do you think the lineup is right now, the way it's constructed?
I like it overall. I just believe that they do have a little bit too much swing and miss, as Jeb mentioned. I believe most of that kind of was with Castellanos last year. He was swinging out a lot of sliders in the dirt, and in playoff spots like that, you just can't be giving the pitcher that much help. And I think he's going to improve this year, but he did kind of go into the first half having a great season, batting about 310, and then at the end of the year he dropped down to about 270. So I think that is kind of an issue with some of those hitters that have kind of streaky moments. I still believe he's a good hitter. So with the rest of the lineup, I really like it. I like the outfield. I think Rojas, I like his defense a lot in the outfield, but I think his offense should improve this year. I like the way and about him with his attitude. I think he's a player that constantly wants to improve, and I think you're going to see that in the near future. I think they could get maybe one more outfielder just to have that extra kind of spice in the lineup, because I think that since Harper's playing first now, so they got Castellanos, they got Rojas, they could put Schwarber out there when he's not DHing.
You got Merrifield too now.
Yeah, true. Also, I think every day they come to the ballpark, they have a great attitude and they just want to improve. I think with veterans like Harper, Almuto, Schwarber, I think that helps them a lot, just understanding the competitive edge that those veterans have, and I think it carries over to the young guys. Like Bohm, he's had some good moments in the playoffs, and I think he's really helped them. And just like Stott and Marsh, they've had their moments too. Like Marsh against the Braves this past year and the year before, he had some big home runs at Phillies ballpark in the Braves series. So with Stott, he had his big moment last year against the Marlins in the playoffs. He hit that big grand slam, which really put the game on ice. Thank you all for watching another Phillie Phanatic Dudes episode and just showing your support for our channel. We greatly appreciate it. If you could hit that like button and subscribe. We have a lot of great content to come, so thank you all for watching.
Yep, thank you everybody.